Hello everyone, welcome back to the Gentle Dog Trainers channel. I'm your host Olivia DeSantos, and today we're going back to the kitchen. We previously have been in the kitchen a few times. We've made homemade dog treats, homemade dog food, and today we're going to be making bone broth. So now bone broth is such a nutritious addition to your dog's diet. We're going to be talking a little bit more about that very shortly as we get into the tutorial, and it can be served in two ways: in liquid form as an actual broth, or as a jelly, which we call aspic. Now, if you want to go more into detail about the benefits of bone broth, then do head to the description box down below, as we have a really full guide on bone broth there. And before we dive into the video, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel. We here at Gentle Dog Trainers do a video every single week on how to be the best possible dog owner that you can be. So click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you never miss an upload, and let's go into the kitchen and make some bone broth. So my bone broth for dogs is a 2-ingredient bone broth. You just need 3 carrots and a bag of beef bones. Now the butcher actually gave me this for free, which is really nice, because they were offcuts of beef bones that they are not going to use, so they gave me 2 kilos for free. So this is 2 kilos of bones and 3 carrots. I roughly chopped the carrots. I let the butcher chop the bones, but if you want to chop them further, then you can. And you want to top it up with as much water just to fully submerge the bones and the carrots. And when you're choosing bones as well, just make sure that there's a good balance of fat, giblets and cartilage and actual bones. You need it all for a really complex bone broth. Now you want to bring it to a boil first, and then you want to bring the temperature all the way down to a low heat so that you can simmer it for a long time. Now you can do it from 9 to 18 hours or so. I did 12 hours and it was perfectly fine. This is about the halfway point, so about 6 hours in, this is what it looked like. And you can start taking off the scum off the top if you want to, but I didn't because I'm lazy. But you can do it for 12 hours. 12 hours was perfectly fine for me, and this is what it looks like after 12 hours. So I'm just going to start taking out the bones, and you can see that there's a good amount of fat and gristle, and it's slightly gelatinized, and all that goodness is in that broth. It's fabulous. Now just a quick note, because if you look up bone broth for the humans drink that we drink, then you might see that people roast the bones before they boil them. That is completely optional. It's to do with the flavor. It's basically a better flavor for humans, but dogs love bone broth just as it is. You don't need to do anything fancy. You don't need to add in, spices and all these kinds of things that you might add into a bone broth if you were making it for yourself. But there are other tutorials for this. We're going to keep things really super simple, really super lazy. So I'm just taking out all of the carrots as well, and really important is that this is going in the bin. Do not give your dog these bones, particularly when they are softened. It can lead to choking hazards, it can lead to splinters in the neck. It's a recipe for disaster. Do not give your dog these bones. The bone broth has got all of the goodness anyway, so there's no need to give them the bones. Okay, so I'm going to throw that away. And now I'm going to strain my broth. So I've taken out most of the stuff, but there's definitely some things lurking in the bottom that I want to get rid of. So I'm going to strain the broth here. There we go. As you can see, there's still quite a few chunks going in there. Lovely. And what you'll be able to see as well is that the fat will start to separate instantly from the main part of the broth. So as you can see, it's much lighter on top. Some people try to pour that out immediately, but I will show you a much easier way to do this, because this is the lazy girl's guide to bone broth. So yeah, all of that good stuff we're going to get rid of very shortly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it on the counter. I'm going to let it cool at room temperature. It only took about half an hour for this to happen. And then I'm literally going to spoon off that fat like ice cream. It is gross, but very satisfying at the same time. So just spoon off the layer of fat. It's okay for the broth to have some fat in it. It will always have a little bit of fat in it. That's part of the cartilage, and it is actually really good for your dog to a degree, but they don't need all of this fat. Like, this is a lot, so I'm just spooning off the excess. Nutritionally, bones provide phosphorus, calcium, and glucosamine, as well as other essential minerals that will support your dog's healthy joints, mobility, and digestive health. And that collagen and fat is also part of this goodness. If you don't want to use beef in your bone broth, you can use chicken, and you can use pork bones as well. Beef just has a really good complex mix of nutrients and isn't too fatty, like pork bones can be, and also produces a bit more broth than chicken bones. So I'm going to put it into a glass container so that I can put it in the fridge to cool. This is an airtight glass container. And once it's cooled down, it's called something called aspic, which is like this jelly. So you can give it to your dog as the broth, the liquid broth, or you can give them this jelly cold, and they love it. It's actually a really nice treat to have in the summertime. And as you can see, both of my dogs really enjoyed it. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you like this video, you'll really like this one on screen. If you have any questions about bone broth, then please do let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to answer best I can. And I'm Olivia for the Gentle Dog Trainers channel, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.